Hello, my friends on YouTube. Today is Sunday, the 18th of May 2025, and today's video is for grown up only, for adults. We're talking about the Prophet of Allah. May the blessing of Allah be upon him. And when you talk about the Prophet of Allah, you're going to talk about stuff. So today's video, the title is a paradoxal title. It's the Holy whoredom. And the reason I'm making this video is because I read on the news that there is a lot of prostitution in the United Arab Emirates. Reality prostitution exists in all over in the whole world, and even I never been to Saudi Arabia. However, I know of friends who, after they finish college, they Saudi Arabia opened their door when I was a young person, and many people went to look for a better opportunity to be paid better as teachers and stuff like that, or engineer or doctor. So they left Egypt and they went to work there, and they told me that there's a lot of prostitution. Many women go. Um, I really don't know how they did it, but anyway, in Saudi Arabia and in many Gulf, in all of the Gulf countries, people from all over the world used to go there, women, and they worked in the prostitution business. Anyway, if this is what they like to do to make money, hey, as long as it's your choice and you're doing that on your own, nobody's forcing you, go ahead. I don't agree with that. I don't like it, but it's none of my business. People are free. So, so when I read about this, I had to consult with the Holy Book of Allah. And in the Holy Book of Allah, when you consider the universe, now scientists say the size of the universe is 23 billion light years. I mean, it is very hard to comprehend one single light year. 23 billion light years is a huge universe. And out of all of this universe, with all the galaxies and the solar systems and all that it's in the universe, we have our solar system, that it's insignificant to the whole universe in comparison to to the size of the universe. And in that solar system there is a planet called Earth, and on this planet there's a small spot in this world, in this planet, called Arabia, a desert area as hot as hell. And in this area, the maker of that whole universe decided to dwell in this spot. Anyway, it's his business. If he feels it's warm and cozy, go ahead. So that, but the thing here is he is concerned with one individual, not in the, let's say, the Greek culture, enlightened Greek culture, or the Roman, or the Byzantine, or the Egyptian culture back then. No, with one illiterate, his head was full of lice, unclean. Nobody knows who his father was. That's not an issue, because somebody could say nobody knows Jesus' father. Anyway, it's not an issue. But the God, the master of all that infinite universe, his head is thinking about this small dot called Earth, that it's smaller than a grain of sand in comparison to the whole universe. Furthermore, he left all these civilizations that surrounding this area of Arabia, whether it was the Roman Empire, the Persian Empire, the Egyptian Empire, the Greek, and he went to this unknown area to pick up unknown person who was uneducated, doesn't know anything, to choose this person to be his spokesman. You know what? If he is God, he can choose it. But if God is so dumb to choose this, I'm sorry. Okay, he chose this guy. The thing is, he's concerning himself with the testicle of this guy. He has to massage these testicles. He has to take care of his testicles. He has to make sure that his testicles are satisfied. He has to make sure that they are always empty. Otherwise, he gets a lot of stress. So as I read the word of Allah, and I'm going to put it in the description box if you want to look at it carefully, and the translation, go ahead. I'm going to give you my own translation, because oftentimes they hide the shameful part when they translate. I know the language and the culture. Okay, O Prophet, of course, the Prophet of Allah. When you say prophet, because the Jews believe Moses was a prophet. Buddhists believe that Buddha was a prophet, and so on and so forth. But when you say the prophet, this is the prophet of Allah, the final one, the one who knows everything. Okay, O prophet, we have made it permissible for you uh, to have your wives. This is not little dumb, it is very dumb. Like, for example, I bought a house, and somebody, or my neighbor, or even my father comes and tell me, okay, now you can live in your house. I am living in my house. I bought it. Or my car. Somebody tells me, oh, you have permission now to drive your car. I don't need permission. I own my car. I drive it whenever I want. Okay, so the Allah is telling the Prophet that he permit the Prophet to have his wives. If you're married to them, these, I mean, it's not that I agree with having more than one wife, but if the culture back then was open to have more than one wife, and you did that, fine. What do I need to know? Why do you have to? But we'll come to that. Why the Allah is so occupied? He's occupying himself with the Prophet. Okay, you are permitted to have your wives that you paid for. The word used here is a fee. You paid their fee. Ugur, ugur, ugurahunna, meaning you paid their price. Is like God Himself is indirectly saying, you paid for that. You paid for her to open herself to you. You paid. Is the same thing. A person in the United Arab of Emirate, he goes to a woman. I don't know how they meet, but anyway, she's doing prostitution, and he will tell her. Also, by the way, there is the opposite. There are women who go to United Arab of Emirate, maybe in their middle ages, women, and there are men there who actually are doing prostitution. The opposite. The woman will ask him how much, and they agree on a price. How long do you need me, whether it's a man or a woman? How long do you need me for the service? And the person would say, half an hour, 1 hour. I'm here for 1 week vacation. So they agree on a price for the length of time. Hey, I don't like it. I don't agree with it. I don't think this is good. But if nobody's forcing anyone in this relationship, good luck. Leave me alone. Okay? But here, the Allah is telling the Prophet, you paid. So you're permitted to any time you can tell her, open yourself, I'm coming. You paid for them. And those whom your right hand possess, these are the women that you waged war, you invaded their homes, and you killed the men, and you conquered the city or the town, and you took the women. These are yours now. You can at any time tell her to take her clothes off, and you get in. She's yours. Of course, you didn't pay for her, but she is yours. Your right hand possessed. You confiscated her from her husband, and therefore it's okay to go and violate her. That's not violation, by the way, because that's coming from the Allah, so it's not violation. Okay, and then he continues and says, I permit you also to marry the daughters of your uncle. In Arabia, back then and until today, people marry their cousins, the daughter of their uncle, from the daughter of your uncle from your father's side. People do that for a long time in Arabia. I think it's wrong, but hey, they agree. You want to marry their cousins from the father side, the paternal side. That's your business. Since nobody's forcing you, go ahead. Okay. And the daughter of your aunt from your father's side, you can marry them. Also, back then, that was uh, permissible. Until today, the people marry the daughter of their uncle from father's side and the daughter of their aunt from their mother's side. I don't know what is the purpose of saying that, since it is already practiced, and he didn't say that was wrong. Of course, this is wrong because you shouldn't marry your cousin. Okay, but anyway, he was ignorant and we have to forgive that. Anyway, the Allah or the Prophet, no, the Allah didn't notice that the same gene uh, can cause trouble. Allah didn't remember that. Anyway, and the daughter of your aunt from your, I'm sorry, the daughter of your uncle from your mother's side, you can marry them too. And the daughter of your aunt from your mother's side. Of those who left Mecca and migrated with you to Medina, because they believed in you at the time of difficulty. They accepted you. So you can have sexual relationship with them. It's okay. Basically, he's giving himself an open ticket to have as many. I mean, normally people have like 3 or 4 uncles, and if each one has one daughter, he will have 2 dozens from his father's side uncles. If he has 3 uncles, each has one daughter, that's 3 from his father's side aunt. If she has three daughters, that's six. And from the mother's side, six. Anyway, about a dozen at least. And I don't know what is the purpose of this Quranic verse. Those who traveled with you from Mecca to Medina. And this is what's sickening here. A believer, a woman believer who comes to you and say, Prophet of Allah, take me for a spin, an hour or two, whatever you like. Why the woman would actually, there is no decent woman that I know of will come to a man and tell him, take me for half an hour or so and then we depart. That's actually worse than prostitution, because prostitution, the woman oftentimes needs money to feed her kids or to feed herself. But this woman is coming because she heard that the Prophet of Allah, he had the power, sexual power of 30 men. And don't ask me how they measured his sexual urge. Back then, I mean, probably now you can, but back then, he had the power of 30 men. So you have many crazy women that would tell you, okay, man, let me try that. I will be up all night. I want to enjoy that. So she will go to him, Lord, not Lord, Prophet of Allah, take me. So if he looked at her and she looked, she has good stuff, go to the 10th woman. Let me give you 30 men power, 30 horsepower, whatever. I mean, it's funny, but it's not really funny. So that is prostitution. That's actually worse. Because as I said, a prostitute, she needs money for her family or for herself to sustain herself. But that is, I don't know what you call it. And if he wants to, so she tells him, take me, and he doesn't have to pay dowry. He doesn't buy her like he bought his wives. And he didn't have to conquer his family, her husband, and kill him and take her. No, she comes and offer herself to him, and if he finds that she is, hmm, let's go. But this is only for you because you're a special case. You have the sexual power of 30 men. Other believers should not do the same thing. This is only for you because you're special, special boy. Okay, only for you, not for for the rest of the believers. Only you. And God remembered. We, God speaking in the form of plural, we learned what we have commanded the believer to do, which is 4 wives maximum, but uh, the what the right hand possesses. So they can have 2,000 concubines. That's okay, but only 4 wives. But for you, Prophet of Allah, as many wives as you want, as many concubines as you want, as many women offer themselves to you as you want without paying or doing marriage contract. She can come, you take her for a spin, she goes home. So he, at the end of that verse, the Allah is telling the Prophet, because there's kind of shame in your heart. You shouldn't feel that shame. And therefore, I'm clearing up things for you so that these idiots around you cannot talk about you and accuse you that you are a womanizer or anything of that nature. No, that is because you are the Prophet of Allah and Allah is taking care of you. Your testicles are special, they are big, and they have somebody have to take care of it. So You have 30 horsepower. No one can do that. So you have to have some flexibility. So Allah gave you this power and He has to take care of them. Okay? So apparently, when you read the end of that verse, I'm going to put it in the description box. Apparently, people were kind of criticizing his behavior, that he is out of control in terms of sexual urge. That's not a characteristic of a leader, not to control your sexual urge. People who, throughout history, look at the people who were caught in indecent activity. It ruined them. So, but for you, the Allah is giving you permission, and the Allah is a forgiving God, and He is a forgiving and merciful God. But don't worry about the people, what the people say. You are fine, you are doing well. Go ahead and see if a woman will offer herself to you, and you can marry your. I'm surprised that he didn't allow him to marry his sisters, or he didn't have sisters, but I mean, what's missing here? Okay, thank you very much. We hope to hear from you. Subscribe, share, and comments. Comment. Thank you very much. Bye bye.